announced for March 11th, 2026. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance, Dave.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sure. Mr. Youngkins.
Here.
Mr. Stein.
Here.
Mr. Eads.
Present.
Mr. Galvich. Here. Mr. Chowski.
Here.
Ms. Pletch.
Here.
Mr. Shields. Here. Mayor Foss.
Here.
Chief, what's this? Oh, Chief. I got it.
Pretty, huh?
Chief Caterino.
Here. Chief Weir.
Chief Coles.
Here.
Mr. Elias.
Here.
Mr. Bicey. Here. Mr. Cannon.
Here.
That's quorum.
Cool. We were in executive session for personnel and contract we were discussing. Is there any public comments? Bradley Jacobs, I see he's not here. Nick Piscatana?
You want to get Danny Kelly to speak first? Danny Kelly's here from the other one.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Nick.
That way Nick doesn't have to.
Yeah, Danny?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Brent. That's fine.
How's everybody tonight? Good. Thanks for having me. I'm Dan Kelly, Board President for Sea Valley Accelerator, aka Sea Valley Enterprise Zone. And I'm here tonight because we were approached by an organization called the Robotics Alliance, which is essentially a nonprofit that tries to pull together robotics companies. And what their goal is to find a place in the U.S. to be a flagship hub for robotics development in the United States. And they've targeted the Pittsburgh area as where they want to focus. They contacted me because I'm friends with Corey O'Connor and they wanted to talk to someone in the mayor's office. And in our first conversation, I mentioned, you might run into a lot of red tape at the city. Would you ever consider a community like ours to be like where you kind of plant your flag and start your work? He seemed amenable to that, and then he met with the Pittsburgh Tech Council. They were excited about that. They thought it'd be smarter to start not within the city of Pittsburgh. And so we're working towards trying to get the Steel Valley, so the business district through West Homestead, Munhall, and Homestead, to be where they set up shop to attract robotics companies and do development of robots that aren't necessarily like manufacturing robots, but things like picking up litter or shoveling snow or walking around and a pedestrian could stop them and ask for directions or something like that. But they need a community to kind of support and be the place where they call home. And so we, as our organization, is committed to trying to support them to come here. And what we're looking for is for all three boroughs to sign on a letter of support that essentially says, we'd love for you to pick here and then work with you to figure out all the nuts and bolts of how we might do this all together. Essentially letting them go and try to solicit and bring robotics companies to our area. And then our organization, the Accelerator, would help them find empty spaces and find places to open these businesses and help facilitate the project. So any questions on any of that? I have a sample of what we're kind of drafting as a letter, and again, it's not a commitment of anything other than to say, we'd love to have that here. A little bit of a tie into our past as a place where industry started in the Pittsburgh area, and it'd be a great place for a new industry to get started as well. Yes?
Are they just looking to start up in existing empty buildings or develop somewhere?
I think it could be both. I think it depends. I think initially they'd probably look for, an empty storefront to go into to open a business there where they could start working on them and developing the robots and then, deploying and testing them as it progresses. But I think that eventually, especially if we're the place where that starts to happen, I think you could see like development of things.
So what you're looking for is a letter from the whole council?
Yeah, pretty much.
So we can do it in one letter, saying the whole Munhall Council supports you?
Yep, and ideally I put it we're going to put it before Homestead and West Homestead as well, so it's like all three boroughs are showing support.
We wouldn't specifically need the letter, we need the approval for him to put us on part of his letter.
Well, yeah, so I have a letter that, and I'll put in front of you, and by the way, we're open to edits or, if you wanna add things or whatever.
But we have.
So basically just, support and then signing the letter once we, you guys feel comfortable with it. So, and I have copies of them here, so.
It'll be a letter from the accelerator.
Yeah, we already gave them a letter from the accelerator, but this would be a letter from the 3 boroughs, and it mentions the accelerator and the whole thing with the robotics alliance. And I know that there's a lot of things on the agenda tonight, so if there's any questions or anything about this between now and, next week as well, like, please reach out to me, and Bernie and Rob have my contact. They're both on our board as well, so.
Okay.
Well, I think it's a great idea.
I do too.
And please include me on that letter also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna take this advantage of this, give them my cards. Because before I do my thing, I'm also the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce, the Munhall Chamber of Commerce. So we would love to talk with you.
Absolutely.
Because we've done letters for other people.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Can't pass that opportunity up, right? We're trying to help everybody.
Sit out there. Just so we can see.
Yeah, that makes sense. There.
You still might need a tall enough person over here.
Change the approach.
I think when you turn it off, there's a default. So I'm sorry I have my back to everybody now, but basically my name's Nick Piscitano, not to be confused with the other Nick Piscitano that some of you guys might know. I'm his father, so he doesn't listen to me, so just so we know that. I have a small company that helps other companies and municipalities get control of their paperwork, their workflows, their electronic forms. So you can actually create all your forms electronically, for internal or external. It's a complete document management system, which if you're familiar with that at all, you can scan documents, HR documents, contracts, they're always there, get them out of file cabinets, always retrievable. And, God forbid we ever have another event like COVID, they're in the cloud, it's fully secure, you never have to worry about losing anything or fires or anything like that, although this building's beautiful, so I'm guessing the fire suppression system's pretty good here. But you still have paper, right? So I'm just on the home page, and what the home page does, and I'm gonna go through this really quick. Dave mentioned he wanted to see the work order process that I built for a few municipalities. And I have some other ones if you want to see it or if you want to see it later. So basically, this is like the home page that you would come on, depending on your user profile, you could set this up however you want, whatever you want to see. So borough manager might want to see a bunch of things that are happening during the day or during the week or whatever. So this is the main menu at the top, and this is all secured by your user login and whatever you're allowed to see and do. So I'm an admin, so I get to see everything. So this is the administration system, and again, I don't want to spend a lot of time because I know you guys have a lot on the agenda, but this is where you kind of build everything. So you could learn, you could have somebody build it, we could build it for you, we could adjust things. So you have some basic things here, but the record types would be like the document types, for lack of better words, the form type. E-forms is where you build the E-forms, which I'll show you. Workflow is where you build the workflow that you can build that automatically does processes for you. Search is exactly what it is. I have a lot of demo forms in here. The one that I built off your website a long time ago was this request for meeting. I don't think I have anything in there, but if we do a search, you'll be able to find all those meeting requests if they're in the system. The other searches are here on other document types, record types. Entry is where you can upload documents or you can just add data. So if I wanted to say that work order, I can come in here and create that work order right inside the entry form. So, well, this isn't the work order, this is the request to meet. And yellow is, and red are required. So any of the fields we show you, if you want them to be required, they have to be required before submission. Okay? If I'm speaking too fast, I apologize. Throw something at me, or tell me to slow down, or ask a question anytime. Since I got my back table to the part of my head. The forms are the basic forms where if you're a user within the system, you can come here and create and ask for things that would start off a business process. So think about HR forms, here's a pool application, purchase request form, fence permit. But I'm gonna show you guys the work order. Okay? So a couple municipalities are using this, including McKeesport. But in essence, actually the demo still says McKeesport up there. Good thing I mentioned that. So, what they're doing is they get a phone call, hey, we got branches on 5th Street that need cleaned up, or they're blocking the sewer system, or, any kind of thing that the Public Works Director would deal with. So we would have to put they would put their, oops. They would have to put, that's because my mouse is scrolling here. Maybe I should use the thing here. I'm not gonna fill everything out, but, so there's two ways that we could do this here. You could do the type of request by typing it in, or type of request by just a drop down. Now, if you notice, when I say branch cleanup, it's automatically gonna put the Public Works Department in there. And that's all user defined by your borough, your organization. You could just put in 100 Main Street, and then, whatever the work is. Now, you could also do a picture upload if you have one. So the ex-administrator of McKeesport, now the new mayor, Tom, he wanted that because he said he would be driving down the street and see something, and he wanted to be able to take a picture and say, hey, go take care of this, okay? So we put that in, and what's not in the demo, we also put a priority and in his full system I can show you, and a date that he would want it done, so that you could track all that. So if we say submit, what you will see, and you'll see, and this is all live, this is now in the workflow for wherever this would have to go. So since this is going to Public Works, the Public Works Director would get it, and this would show up when he logs in or she logs in. Okay? So then they can assign it to somebody, assign it to me. This is the completed date, so you're not going to put it in there. Again, McKeesport wanted hours worked, so they could put in, it took 4 hours. They could also say, take a picture of where that request was and say, look, this was completed, and put in notes. And when it's completed, they would just hit complete. And this can be done from any mobile device. You don't need an application. The way this is built, the UI is built for any interface. So Google, Android, iPad. So then it's now, if we look here, and we refresh this, it's now in the completed Public Works section. So that's kind of the quick and easy way to do a work request. Now we can build these forms to your liking, however you want it, whatever forms you might like that request for meeting. So if I go over here, I can actually do that real quick. And this one will actually send me an email. Let's see. I think I have it. And then, obviously they can upload a file. This is taken right from you guys' website, from a paper form. They can sign it here. Let's say we change that to submit maybe. And now that will be, usually takes a few seconds to request, but it'll automatically refresh if you're not in there all the time. So here's the initial review. So there it goes. That's how fast it is. I mean, this is actually driving to the cloud and coming back. We're in the cloud right now. So let's say somebody said it was incomplete, you could hit denied, or you could say review completed. So the idea with this was I was just trying to come up with some ideas, like maybe an assistant looks at it first to make sure that what they're asking to speak about is legitimate, whether it's allowed, blah, blah, blah. So they would hit review completed, and then it would come back out to, you'll see now it says it's at the business manager, or in this case, the borough manager, say David, and he could say, I added it to the agenda, and then they will get an email to the effect of, you've been added to the agenda on whatever date. And the report, what it sends in the email could be anything you wanted to say. So you could have a canned kind of response.
Nick, if I could ask, you can do right to know request off of this too, right?
Yeah, actually, I built a right to know request for McKeesport, so they, just so everybody knows, they have an ordinance in McKeesport that your right to know has to be a PDF. They will not accept a handwritten right to know. Except they have an ordinance or whatever they call it. So what I built was, so what we're doing over there is, we could say, you know, here's the this is, oh, I'm sorry. So here's the here's the right to know form. That is exactly like you guys, everybody uses the same form, right? Doesn't that look familiar? Mm-hmm. Now, what we plan on doing eventually, and you could, as a borough or organization, you're gonna be able to accept the PDF and or the form online. So instead of the link that you guys have now, go into a PDF that they have to download and fill out and send back, or whatever they do, we can replace that link and go right here, because this could be public. So you can fill this all out, but what we're doing over there, because they do the PDFs, is we have a way to, so now I'm gonna upload one. So I hit upload there. So if you get one in email, if you don't, they do the PDF form and not an email, you get a PDF, you could come here, get the right to know OCR test, because I'm still in test. And let me go out to my desktop, wherever I have these things. Oh, I'm sorry, it's an import. So here's a form that somebody has filled out. I just click on it, it imports it. You don't have to fill anything out, you hit save and close. And it'll upload it, and then what you're gonna see is that it's gonna do an OCR on the PDF. So you don't have to do any typing. It'll pull all the data off the PDF. Took a little second there, so you'll see, so right here it'll say OCR. So it's OCR in that document, and then when it's done, you'll see the data go right into here. Now, we could do the OCR on any kind of document, paper document. Handwrittens are a little tougher, but if it's a PDF with typed in, it'll pick it up pretty much 100%. This is usually pretty quick, but certain times of day, it'll be a little slower. I try to have fun with creating fake. So this one's Bruce Banner the Hulk. And I always use those characters because nobody can sue me for using their real name. So you'll see now within a matter of seconds, all that data is already in there. And if we go down and look at the form, there's no company. Oh, maybe there's Hulking Company. Okay, I'll check that. There's no fax and the contact method we've decided not to use. But so you can see now that that's all done automatically. So what the plan of attack is going to be, they have an email address that says rtk@mckeesport, something. We're going to make it so that the system automatically monitors that email box or downloads it to a folder. So as soon as it hits that folder, this system will pick it up and it'll be in the system. Now what we built in a lot of this is, this is kind of the extra stuff, is you have time limits on this. You're supposed to answer the initial request in 5 days. If you don't, it's 30 days. The McKeesport solicitor told me he usually just punts everyone up to 30 days because they get so many crazy things. So then this thing is now in a workflow right here, and if I click on that, you'll see that its status is 5 days. So now if I go back to this main page, it's all, everything's listed here. So you see how it says 5 days? So, and we can do a lot of other reports and, you know, whatever, how work gets done, we could do that. And then you have, you know, you also have the charts, you know, these are kind of meaningless to see them now, but as the data builds out, the data, you can see all the data. And within this workflow, we have, so if I go back to that workflow thing, you'll see the choices are 30-day extension completed, denied, or legal review. So when it comes in, if it's complex, you can say 30 days. If not, you can just complete it. Same thing though, you'll get an email that says, so if I say 30-day extension, you'll see that it'll move it into that. Now remember too, just so you see how it says now 30-day review. So now you know where the timer started and when it's coming up. And we're going to build in like alerts, for lack of a better word, to say, hey, this 30-day review's got 5 days left. We're going to do something with it. That could be an email, that could just be like a color change on the list. However you guys want to operate it.
So you can customize this to our needs.
That is correct. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different forms that we can build. I mean, you can see I have some of these other ones out here.
So notifications, we were talking about that earlier, for like department heads or whatever. Hypothetically, we're just gonna use public works, right? Say they're out on the road, they're taking care of something. If something urgent comes along and it goes through the system, can there be a text notification?
Yes. You can build SMS right into it. So, you know, I can bore you with the configuration stuff, but
I mean, because not everyone's gonna either, you know, have the email or,
Right,
you know,
right.
whatever, but at least if there's a notification to log into the system for, you know, 611 or 311 stuff or whatever.
So one of the other things in McKeesport that they're doing with the work order that you guys might not do, but they contract their sanitation garbage pickup out for this big sanitation. I don't know, do you guys do that or is it?
No.
We do it in
Yeah, because West Mifflin's in-house too, so I never know. But what they would have to do is if a street got missed on garbage, they have to email or text the guy and say, hey, you missed this street, go pick it up. Which is fine, but they have, in their contract, if they don't pick it up within a day or two, McKeesport gets a $250 fee. But they have never been able to track that, like when they were notified and when it actually got picked up. So the requirement for Biggs is gonna be, because remember I showed you the public thing on the bottom? They're gonna have a completion tab that says when they did it, or why they couldn't do it, or whatever. Like, well, just last in the snowstorm, Tom was telling me that Biggs couldn't get up some of the streets to pick up the garbage. Well, that's a pretty legitimate excuse, right? They couldn't plow it, so they couldn't get the garbage. So all those kind of things we can build in. And again, because this is on the phone in its native format, you don't have to worry about apps. You don't have to do any of that. They just hit it. It would send a link actually to the work order, so he could click on the link and it would pop it up. So we could build all that into the system.
So any outside contractor we use, we could use that.
You could. Yeah, and the nice thing about this product, the things that I've worked on for 25, 30 years, is this is not user pricing based. So you don't have to worry about adding users. Usually most systems you add a user, it's $35, right? This is just, our pricing is strictly based on number of documents. So the first tier is up to 50,000 documents, which you may never get to. And they explain a document's a one-page form, or it's a 50-page contract, or a 100-page, it doesn't matter, it's one document. So there's a lot of ways that you benefit from that you don't have to worry about users and, you know, however you want to do it. The cost won't go up unless the documents hit the level of 50,000 or more. And you can purge them. When you get to 45 and you don't need them anymore, you just dump them. So, any other questions? I don't want to take a whole lot of time. Dave's getting a little anxious back there, it looks like. I don't want to get him mad. He'll toss me out in a minute. Any other questions? Any other thoughts?
I just want to thank you for coming.
No, well, I appreciate you guys listening.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, feel free.
Come on, Dave.
If you want to see any other kind of like, you went in the back already, Frank.
You need me?
I don't know. Maybe somebody else.
You read your book?
I know I can.
Which I think she kind of wanted to do.
All right, thanks.
Hey. Sorry, I didn't hear you, Nick.
I can stick around if you guys want me to stick around during the meetings.
It's not.
It's gonna be a while.
Okay.
Thank you again, Nick.
I'll never, I mean,
Right, yeah.
Any public comments or presentations?
I know, but.
Oh, yeah, I asked for that already. All right,
Public comment.
yes. State your name.
Hi, my name is Joanne Forster. I am Vice President, one of the Vice Presidents for the Regional Trail Corporation. We have several other representatives from our board here. Mark Place, our President, Tim Inglis, our Treasurer, Ray Lombardi, who's another board member. We also have Roy Byers here from the Steel Valley Trail Council, which is one of our member organizations. We're here tonight to talk about the traffic and safety on East Waterfront Drive, where the trail passes through, the Great Allegheny Passage. Regional Trail Corporation, we appreciate this opportunity to comment. RTC acquires, develops, manages, and maintains trails in Allegheny, Westmoreland, and Fayette counties, including 50-plus miles of the Great Allegheny Passage from West Homestead to Connellsville. The GAP, as it's known, is a 150-mile non-motorized corridor connecting Pittsburgh to Cumberland, Maryland, generating over $121 million in annual economic impact and supporting more than 1,300 jobs across the 5 counties. Over 135,000 people use this section of trail annually, including both local residents as well as riders coming from many countries and almost every state. Last week, we became aware that developments between the overpass at the east end of the waterfront and Rivers of Steel Pump House may result in 3 new trail crossings on East Waterfront Drive. This section of trail is 2-way and, as you're probably aware, is very busy. Additional cross traffic will introduce new dangers to bike riders, pedestrians, and car drivers. Drivers entering and leaving the new businesses will experience significant daily inconveniences as they yield to the users of 2 bike lanes, the sidewalk, and 2 car lanes. The plate mill plan, as we understand it, will be considered by council on Wednesday, March 18th, as well as discussion tonight. If the plan is approved, RTC respectfully requests that approval be conditioned upon the developer and the borough agreeing to 4 items. 1 is to conduct a traffic and safety study along the on-road trail segment by a mutually agreeable traffic engineer. 2, provide road and driveway signage to remind car drivers about the pedestrian and bicycle right-of-way. 3, paint the trail surface green, similar to bike lanes within the city of Pittsburgh and other cities. And 4, participate in meetings that we ask Munhall Borough to arrange with adjacent property owners to discuss the possible complete relocation of the trail off of the road to space along the river. Moving the trail off the road would enable a center turning lane on the road itself, improving traffic flow in both directions, as well as ensuring the safety of the riders, bike riders, and pedestrians. If Munhall Borough commits to assemble all property owners, RTC is prepared to commence a feasibility study of the river alignment. RTC would bear the cost unless such a meeting does not occur. We stand ready to assist with your safety efforts for all members of the community and would be happy to engage in discussion with you either now or during your discussion of the project later in your meeting or at another time convenient to you. And I have copies of my comments here. If you
Give it as manager.
Thank you so much.
Any questions? None? Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Greenie?
I didn't know with all these people here today, if they were all together, or if they, all my questions are regard to old business. Regarding the second floor, the Chatham and Carlo area upstairs. I mean, that frame, as the frame outside this door here, has been there for 2 months. What's the holdup?
The problem is, Rennie, we were waiting for drawings. We were told we had to have drawings, so we had to get drawings.
And we have drawings.
They're finally in, and it's being worked on right now. We're heading towards getting it done. I just spoke to Bob today.
How did we get this far without drawings?
Because we didn't think we needed drawings for the borough building, but we found out we did.
Okay, how about the list of committees that I had asked about?
Yes, those are committees. I actually printed out a bunch of them and leave them in my office. Probably did. I probably did. I'll get them in just a minute. I printed out a bunch.
Can you get it to you in a minute, Janine?
Uh-huh.
He said he has
How
it in the
about
office.
I keep asking about the extra 4 rectangle tables up in the community room that are yet to be seen.
They are accounted for.
They what?
They're accounted for.
They are up there.
No, they're accounted for in the building. They don't need to be in that room. They're belong to the borough. We can use them however we need to. So they're accounted for. There's no missing tables.
So if I needed them on my senior citizen day, which I did last week, I mean, just like the round tables and chairs, you assume that they're going to be there. So you don't
They've
assume
been
anything.
repurposed in different parts of the building.
So if I need them, I will just ask.
You can make a request and I can see if I can get them.
Okay, and how about the cleaning service? Have you talked to anybody about that?
It's still being discussed. We're going to probably have an executive session next week to discuss how we want to proceed in terms of cleaning for this building. So,
On all these motions that are on the agenda, when you discuss them, we're not allowed to bring in input, right, from the audience. So if I have a question, I need to ask you now. For example, when it says Westfield notice of termination, what is that about?
that is a, when the, maybe you can handle this one, Matt.
So it's a DEP permit. When you build something and you're moving dirt, it's called an NPDF permit. Don't ask me to remember what the acronym means.
But you're the engineer, Matt, come on.
So the field's been built since what, 23, I think, something like that. Longer than that.
Yeah, longer than
I would
that.
say much more than that.
Sometimes they get closed out, sometimes they don't. DEP's really trying to crack down on getting them closed out so they can track them better. But this is just a formality that says the project's been done, everything's working the way it should.
Are we getting ready to turf it? What are we doing?
No. This is from the original turf construction. That project was never closed out with the DEP or the Conservation District.
So they're just closing it out.
So this is just a form that we submit to them saying that everything was done the way that it was designed and the project's complete.
Interesting. Okay, how about this, the iPad purchase, how much did it end up being?
Well, I'll give the numbers when I get to that point, but, I'll bring it up. Council doesn't know the numbers yet, or some of them do, but I'll bring that up when we discuss it, decide what council wants to do for next week.
Right.
Next week.
No, we're gonna discuss it tonight, Randy.
Yeah, and then vote would be
The vote will be next week.
next week.
Thank you. And as far as the planning commission, where it has appointment need 2 members, are we talking new members? Are we talking about reducing from the 9 to 7, 7?
The planning commission had reduced its numbers to 7 last year. 2 members stepped down. But going through my research, I found that 2 members that were existing on the planning commission were not officially reappointed by council. So technically, those need to be reappointed, or council needs to appoint other people in their stead. So they were sort of appointed in spring of '24.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you all.
All right,
Thank you.
anybody else? No? All right, engineers report?
Sir. Main Street, we're still working on getting that started. We had a meeting yesterday a phone meeting with David, Dan, and Greg. Dan's gonna reach out to the grant people,
Main Street Matters grants.
Main Street Matters, analysis.
Analyst, yeah.
Yeah. To make sure that the phase 2 signing of the contracts doesn't have any effect on when the contract was actually bid. So once we get that answer, hopefully we can move forward. Creek Street, haven't heard anything back from DEP yet on their review. David just sent me an email yesterday, we're gonna apply for the Act 13 mitigation grant. To try to get some funding for that project. The Main Street bridges, if you read my comment there on my report, the one by your house, Dave, is very bad.
Is it? I figured that was the wall.
You're too heavy to walk on.
The span of there's concrete beams underneath, and the stirrups that wrap the rebar are completely rotted out. So the only thing holding it is like the concrete.
Oh, wow.
So the structural engineer suggested derating that to 3 tons.
Well, that's a good thing.
I sent his email to Jamie too, so that his guys know. But I did reach out to a guy from PennDOT, who's in charge of the bridge inspections, to see why those bridges aren't on their list.
All right. Is there money out there, you think?
We should apply for the PennDOT grant, automotive grant again. Yeah, I think we definitely need to look at it getting.
Well, they're the only 2 that has not been done on that street,
Right.
because the county did the rest.
Well, I also want to try to find a contact for the county as well to see if they have any historic information. So,
And I think there's a sign that says 8 ton on there now.
well, 10 is the one by your house.
Is it 10?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me follow up on that, Bob, can you get a 3-ton on there immediately?
And make sure they're at the beginning and see if we can't put one up by where West Mifflin starts, where they can get off the road before they get down. You know what I mean, where the Y is right below. All right, thanks, Bob.
Finally paving.
Are we sure about the fire trucks though?
Yeah, I mean, the tonnage of the trucks are gonna be far exceeding 6 ton.
Still have a fire up there.
Excuse me?
You still gotta go to the fire. When you go across.
Go fast.
Yeah,
Punch it.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, kind of.
Not as heavy, but go fast.
People in the front won't make it.
Anything else?
So, I mean, Glenn, you may want to add home build to that Ravine Street first alarm in case something, God forbid, the bridge would collapse and you guys on the way up there to tile or anything like that, just to protect the borough so we know somebody's coming down from the top side, for sure.
Yeah, we can
And,
look at that.
and depending on where the address is, make sure like everybody else goes up Duquesne Avenue, because that could be an issue.
If it's above 1205, they won't hit a bridge.
Right. Just fine.
So, PJ, come from the other end down. I don't know what to tell you.
I have a question for the engineer. Are we gonna see anything happening on Main Street before Memorial Day? This has been dragging on now for a long time.
hopefully.
hopefully.
I've been pushing it
I'd like to hear
once.
more, better than hopefully.
I've
I
been
mean, it's
pushing
been,
The main issue is.
can we start anything before Memorial Day?
Yeah, that's-
The main issue is the fact that because we only got $1 million of half of the actual grant funding so
Right.
far.
I understand
We
that.
split it up so we can do the full project, just half of it.
Right,
So it'll look nice when the half of it will be
I
done.
understand that.
The problem is, it wasn't bid that way, and the concern now is, we have no problem we're gonna be able to use the money. Greg's only concern is, if we get another $1 million the next year or so from these other grants, will the state preclude us from using that money for that grant because we already bid it out?
So-
It's entirely a timing and legal thing.
So it's
from the
possible we
state.
won't see anything in the next 6 months.
No, because we can, the money we have, clear, I think we've gotten all the clearances we can
We have
start.
to use that money.
Yeah, we'll use it, we'll get half the project.
What can we use that for now?
Well, we can use it for the part, the upper half, right, the upper half, we can start that. And the only question is, we want the answers so, to make sure that we won't get into problems later when we get the rest of the funding.
Right.
But we should, I don't see why we can't start basically in April, because it'll be good weather.
Right.
They've been calling me every day to see if we got an answer. They're ready to go.
Yeah, so
Right.
we're ready, we just need one little piece of information from Main Street Matters, which is one of
I
the.
mean, I was hoping for April, but April's like right here.
Well,
So, I mean,
basically, we're
I think Memorial
literally ready to go.
Right.
We just need one little piece of information, I think we can start.
Yeah, they were ready to start last week.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Who are we waiting on?
Main Street Matters analyst, the analyst at Main Street Matters left the job. And analysts, something about, I learned from Dan Solta, our grant writer, is analysts, if a new analyst comes in, the rules change drastically on how they interpret things. So we're waiting, there was no analyst for a while. So now there's a new analyst, or hopefully a new analyst very soon. And once we get the answer from the analyst, then we can proceed. It's just simple. We're basically pushing to go, we're just, one little
Dan's
piece of
like,
information.
it's, you know, usually you ask for forgiveness, but this is one of those cases where you want to get permission first.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we can use the rest of the money.
Okay,
One thing, even when we were on Main Street and stuff, I sent to David and to also Dan Soltis about the Sarah Enamorado thing, about the grants that they're offering for Main Streets too,
We-
for technical assistance, grants for festivals, pop-ups, community events, small business grants for facade improvements, equipment expansion, so, I mean, that's worth looking into, I think, also.
Yeah, it's, as we've learned from our own experience, the project we're doing is $2 million.
Right, we're not gonna
The
get,
county is allocated
No.
$4 million for the entire county.
right, we're not gonna get that. kind
So
I
it's
saw
like-
Summer Lee
Whatever we
presented
can
her
get.
with a check.
maybe we can do some
Congresswoman presented her with a check yesterday for 20 million?
I think that was with Summer Lee, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Is this
saw
for
that.
Swissville?
Well, I know Braddock got a big grant from.
So to follow up
Structures down.
on this
Right.
issue, and it's later on in the agenda, is the Congressional Community Project funding request. That's basically going to Summer Lee and saying, we want to put the Main Street project on the congressional ask list.
Right.
So Tim's working on getting us set up with Summer Lee to basically get it on her list, and then hopefully, once it gets on her list, then she can push it to Congress, but that's.
But the check she presented to Sarah Honorado,
That was last year's funding.
she just presented it yesterday.
It wouldn't be, because of the whole hiccup in the end of the year with the budget, that's why it was delayed.
Okay.
So that's why, we're hoping to get some money from Summer Lee for this Main Street project. But that's, you never know how that's gonna go.
anything else there?
The paving has been put out for bid. Bids were received on April 7th. So next month we'll vote on
Which way to go?
which way to go.
Okay, so this is tomorrow, I believe, right? Tomorrow, Thursday?
Tomorrow it goes out. Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Code enforcement?
You have a copy of my report. There's nothing else I have to add on it. Any questions?
Still forgot that question I wanted to ask you last month. Maybe next month. I'll call you.
Is that it, Dave?
That's it.
All right. Public Works?
Charging station's almost done. We have to put the meter box in and it has to be inspected. As far as when the new electric trucks, I was told the end of the month. He didn't say what month. Yeah, we're getting salted slowly, 2-3 loads a week. So
We got enough if we have a storm?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
That's all I have.
thank you. I figured you were.
Bob, I have a question for you. Item number 4, I'm just curious. February 24th, you're the only person on street.
Yeah, somebody called once, I was the only guy in the street.
Can you all speak up?
Item number 4 in his report, he has listed on February 24th, he was the only person on street department that day. And I was just curious how that happened. So it wasn't snow related, it was just, you
It
know.
was 3 or 4 sick days,
Yeah.
guys calling off sick, and then maybe a vacation day somebody had in there.
Okay.
It ended up, I was the
Well,
only
you
guy.
still had garbage, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You were just the only one on
I was the only one in the
Public
street
Works.
department, yeah.
Anything else, Bob?
Nope, I'm good.
Alrighty. Police chief report?
Yes, thank you, President. You all have a copy of the report. I didn't want to put this, but I didn't want to be truthful, not be truthful. 666 calls for service, 21 arrests, 121 traffic stops, 79 citations issued. Other than that, our detectives and our sergeants, our newly promoted sergeants, have been doing extensive training the last few weeks. That's all I have.
Did we get our vehicles in there?
Oh, we did, yes. We did get our 3 new vehicles in, our mix-up truck along with the 2 Ford Explorers. They will be put in service tomorrow.
They'll be on the road tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Fire chief, are you done, chief?
Now, I got a question.
All right.
I noticed it was on the agenda, posted on the door downstairs, but it don't look like it's on this one. The discussion of the,
Oh, this is the older, this is the older one, yeah. Sorry, that's one thing, I added it late,
okay.
and the one posted is the updated one, I forgot to print off
So is
the.
that something that we?
We'll still talk about it at the end of the,
Okay.
it's just the last thing.
Yeah, sound done.
This is the older edition. The one on the website and the one on the door posted publicly are the ones that.
Okay.
You want to, any items to consider?
Now you want to talk about fire chief?
Fire chief, I'm sorry. I didn't see you were hiding.
Gotta look down, man.
I know. No, I checked your name before I called you.
For the month of February, the Bureau of Fire had 50 calls, not 666 like Jamie. There were 23 in Munhall and 27 mutual aid requests, and our average times from dispatch to en route was 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Dispatch to the first unit on scene, 4 minutes and 57 seconds, and we averaged 38 minutes and 10 seconds at each call. We did have our first meeting with emergency management today in regards to the Girls on the Run race, which is coming in May, and we're supposed to be getting an update on preparations for the NFL draft and what's going to be happening down at the waterfront. That meeting is probably going to come within the next couple of weeks.
Good stuff. Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Stuff over here. All right, first off is the heating and cooling system for the police administration office, chief assistant chief. We have a bid here from Peruska for 12,000 something.
For everybody to know, the chief's office is really cold because it's on the end of the building, it's got windows all the way around it. We've been trying to heat it. with
The
just
chief and the assistant
Chief
chief.
and the assistant chief. Can't heat it with one heater, they got 3 heaters in there, and they got a cord out the door, so we gotta do something, because it's gonna get so hot in there in summer, they're not gonna be able to move. This has been going on for a while, huh, Randy?
Very. Why wasn't this French room for Andrew put this in? You
I don't
can't
know.
tell me they didn't.
Probably because they didn't know it was gonna be that hot,
Come on, Dave.
I'm sure they
It
did.
was a poor
I
design.
told you that.
It was a poor
It
design.
was a poor design, but they didn't pay attention to
It was
it.
poor design.
Barney. I agree.
I agree too, Bert.
Thank you.
Here it is. The cost for the specifically installation of 2 inverter ductless splits in the chief's office and the assistant chief's office $12,181.97.
And that's with one of the units on the outside of the building, correct?
Yes. So that's that. It's kind of a long time coming. It's been cold and hot, and I mean, the same problem, anybody's been in the conference room over here, it's not as bad, but it's a similar problem. We don't work there all the time, so. So it's just something unfortunately, something we have to do.
Who was the second bid from, David?
Biggest, everybody, just got one bid.
Medius? Oh, only
I
one.
thought you said Arushka's was 12,000.
Yeah.
Haworth's was the only bid?
Yeah, I can try to get a second bid, but that's all I've got so far.
We're accepting more bids.
Okay, yeah, we'll get another bid. Well, we'll get it in before summer, definitely, so don't have to worry about it, chief.
Been a hard 4 years.
Okay, so, we had a presentation from, Nick Piscatano's group. I've been looking at several other, software programs as well. Nick's, software does document plus also a little tack on of task management. The other programs I've been looking at are strictly task management software, where the main thing is to control all aspects of the jobs that primarily for public works to get done. So the different programs, I've been going through them all, trying to figure out what's the best. And there's a vast difference in price for everything. But the idea is just to better control who gets assigned what jobs, evidence that jobs are getting done, make our public works guys even more efficient than they already are, and just try to get more done during the day. So that's kind of the idea behind this software. I don't want to go into the details of all of them at this point in time, but I'm wondering if any of the council members would like to see more details on any of these other ones. We already saw Nick Piscatano's presentation. I don't want to at all and see another one present them. But I don't want to take up the whole council meeting.
Right.
Is there anyone that, sorry,
Okay.
is there anyone that you like better than, a little bit better?
I'm kind of leaning towards iWork, but they all can do good work, and no matter what we end up with, it'll be fine. It's just more of a cost thing. But I haven't given my full recommendation yet. I don't want to go through them all. Maybe even talk to them again, get a better clearing of each how they all work.
You want to bring one in?
They all do not live locally. Otherwise, I would have brought them in here. That's the one problem. Utah, New Jersey, I don't know, I'll fly anybody in here.
No. Is there a way of doing?
There is a way to do a Zoom, yeah, but I'm trying to get people in council to be.
No, that's something that I think you can take.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a recommendation.
Pick what you like.
Okay.
What's that?
Pick what you like, you want what's best for you.
Okay.
You know what's best for you, bring that to us.
Last week, the tax collector mentioned, she asked, she didn't recommend, but she asked if we were going to increase our duplication fee for documents.
Is that the only thing she wanted?
For now. She wanted to know before the bills were printed, which is kind of late, so it'll be something for next year. She was recommending increasing it to $20, like it's $10 now. I don't have a problem with it, but the council would have to vote to do that, because unfortunately, since we passed the ordinance last year, we can vote to increase fees at any rate. Now, Tim and I have talked previously about kind of looking at all of the fees. This might be just a broader discussion we want to talk for the next month or two. And this would be one of them. We just want us to do a single one, but maybe just a bunch of them. So maybe we'll talk more about that.
Fees get adjusted.
Yeah, so that's just something that came up, as one people are aware. It's too late to do anything for the tax season this year, so, because it had to be printed on the bill before they're printed, the actual amount.
When do the bills go out? I'm sorry.
They go, we ordered the envelopes yesterday.
Okay.
They're being sent to Jordan Tax, the envelopes are, and then sometime in end of March, beginning of April will go out.
Gotcha, thank you.
Steel Rivers COG is having a General Assembly dinner. I sent an email to everybody. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Yeah, let me find it real quick.
March 26th at the Sunset. Right?
Thank you. Here it is, right here. Being that the Richard Vallejo, the Deputy Secretary of DCED, basically the guy in charge of DCED, which is where we get most of our funding, the grant funding at least, will be the keynote. It might prove worthwhile for several members of the council to attend this event.
I would like to go.
And I don't have a problem sending everybody.
I'd like to go.
So I just, let me know what you guys want to do. Right now, I'd like to write it in.
What time is it?
It is at 5 to 6 is networking, 6 is the meeting.
What date?
Thursday, March 26th, that's 2 weeks from tomorrow. So I need to basically turn the form in this week. You can check the calendar, just get it back to me tomorrow if you want. Who said they want to go? You want to go, Dave?
I do too.
Dave and Karen, anybody else?
You can put me down there.
PJ, Tim?
No idea.
I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Where's it at?
Sunset Line.
It's
In Elizabeth.
Oh, I know what it is. It's, 48, is it? There's a big sports complex up by there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, on
Yeah.
top of the hill.
It's right by there.
You going, Jason?
No, I got a commitment that night.
Anybody else? No, Mike?
All right, well, Tim, get back to me. Okay, good. I think it's a worthwhile event. We've also received 2 LERTA requests. I sent one in the email last Friday, and I have another one that I put in your packets today. The first one is for Next Hill, which is the blue buildings. They're basically asking for not tax free, but basically, as we discussed, the LERTA, not paying taxes for 5 years, depending on how long it is. 100% for the first 2 years, then decreasing every year after that for 5 years. The second one is KSS Partners, which is the renovation of 1850 West Street, which is the building, the nursing building, right, Tim? That's the nursing building?
Behind
Yeah,
us.
the nursing building is behind our building. That's for residential units. The only concern I have regarding the second one, and it's more of a legal thing, is they applied for and got the building permit last February before LERTA was passed by the council. So I need to check with Greg about that, whether there's any restrictions. Beyond that, I don't have a problem recommending approving both of these because it is development needed for our borough.
Well, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
With Next Hill, because they are renting the property?
But they're in the process of purchasing the building.
Okay.
I did ask that question.
Now, do we know if the LERTA works for somebody that?
Residential, yes.
Yes, and
It does work residential.
okay,
So we added that late in the
I
process.
thought we did.
Yeah.
Where exactly is Next Hill?
The blue buildings, down on the waterfront.
Okay. I was confused by this picture on the back.
That's the front little entrance down there.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna start that.
Yeah. That's the one, they're basically providing, supporting steel for the plant in Clarendon.
Gotcha.
That's the Korean company that's
Okay.
trying to invest in the area. Any questions about that right now?
With their total fees on there,
Yeah.
they're anticipating 18.4 million for construction costs to fix everything.
Yeah.
Based upon their numbers on the back here, I mean, I thought it was just for construction, so when we were looking at it in the planning phase,
Yeah.
it was just for materials, not for employee costs and everything else, so employee costs, they're estimating $4 million in employee costs. So, I mean, I think that should be reduced at least to, what, 14.4 million.
Okay. I'll look at the numbers again.
That's good. That's good stuff.
That's just for construction. All right.
And that throws an extra 4 back onto the tax rolls.
All right, I'll follow up with them tomorrow and make that request. All right. There's also the planning commission recommendation to approve the plate mill LP land development plans on waterfront. The planning commission has recommended it. I've included in the email last week, the notes from the meeting, the planning meeting from Bresky. Are there any questions about that?
I missed the notes. Can you go over?
Yeah.
Mark Fallon, he did apply to return?
He did. I have three. Let me go through this and I'll tackle that one next. Okay, here we go. Here, just, there you go.
You have something to say?
If you want me to.
Are you from the development?
Yes.
I'd like to hear you guys say that we can do.
Yeah, go ahead. I was wondering why you didn't speak up before.
So, my name is Lenny White. I'm an engineer with KU Resources. We were the engineer on this project. It is the development of the 4-acre parcel next to the Blue Building down at the waterfront. It's proposed as a 48,000 square foot flex building. Right now, the developer is anticipating 12,000 square feet in office space, 36,000 square feet of warehouse space. With that is just the new entrance to the site, and then new parking. There's internal sidewalks. The previous development has a shared driveway that the two developers have already worked out together, all their agreements, everything like that. Planning module already approved when we did the original parcel. NPDS permit is approved, or it was modified due to the new development, so we did a minor modification through that. That's the main overview. So it's just.
So you'll be using the same driveway as Project Panther that's going down there now? Or will you build your own?
There is a new one. We are proposing a new one. Yes.
It's the warehouse for.
Whatever the tenant wants to warehouse. I don't know the answer to that.
So you're building it so they can rent it out?
Yeah. And I didn't get my, so representative from the developer was supposed to be here tonight. He had an emergency, so he couldn't make it.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Anybody got questions for me?
So if it becomes a potential issue with the bike lane down there, are you guys willing to sit down and go through this, like to make some, I don't want to say concessions, but we also don't want to stop development of that property because it's been sitting vacant for years.
At the planning commission meeting, I suggested, putting signage at the stop signs, because I mean, it is an intersection coming out of there, so the driveways do have to yield to not only Waterfront Drive, but also the trail itself. Suggested, some signage at the actual stop signs, specific to yielding to the trail, trail traffic. I mean, people
I got a question.
tend to yield to the cars, but the bike trails, the bike riders and walkers, maybe not so much, so.
I got a question. If by chance the bike people were able to get to the Blue Building and they were let them use so much behind the buildings, because that's what we were trying to do before, is go behind the buildings to get these bikers off that road, would they be okay with that, or would they look at it at least?
They no longer own that property.
Who owns it? I'm talking about you guys.
We're on the front half.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, it's another development, another property owner.
You don't own the property on the backside of your land towards the river?
Correct.
So what I'm asking you is, would they be interested in giving the bike lane part of that land over there so they can go over?
We don't own the land.
Okay. All right, I thought you were coming all the way back, my bad.
Yeah, we subdivided that 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, about that.
I think on my first year, we subdivided that.
Right.
We'll tell you the answer.
Next to it seems
All right. I think we should talk to them about that. I think it's a good idea.
Yep.
Get them people off that street.
And we can talk to them about it, but I don't think we should stop development.
No, I don't either.
We need development.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
Yep.
Let me ask you one thing. Are they using the Marcellus building at all, or is that going to be torn out?
I don't know what building that is.
That's the blue building that exists there now.
Yeah, so
We
you,
don't own that building.
Yeah,
They're putting
that's
something else
$8
in there.
now.
they put $18 million into that building,
Could you?
Next deal.
and that's steel,
Oh, that's next to his property.
yes,
Thanks.
on the front part, on the blue buildings.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, let's go on there.
All right.
Thank you.
As I mentioned earlier, there's an opening for 2 members of the planning commission. I have 3 requests for that position. The request for reappointment of Mark Fallon, a request for reappointment of Peggy McCarrick, and then a request to be added by Charlene David. So there's some council will decide who they want to add. We'll vote on that next week.
Yeah. We'll vote on it.
Act 57. Okay, so 2 years ago, 2 years ago, the state, actually 4 years ago, the state passed Act 57, which allows for new property owners to file for waivers for the fees for property taxes if they did not receive, or they claim they did not receive the bills in a timely manner for that current year. I included an email I got from Donna, basically summarizing them from the PA, Pennsylvania State Tax Collectors Association, describing the act. You read your own time. Pretty much, basically, I think council needs to adopt this Act 57. You can ask Greg about it next week. But, it's a minor thing, but if somebody comes in, buys a property in September, doesn't realize the taxes won't pay for that year, and then they submit taxes, but they want to try to get not to pay all the fees that they're having to pay by paying later in the, that's the process. Any questions about that?
So we as a town would have to
Adopt Act 57.
Okay. Because I actually just went through this. I bought property last March. The county never updated the records. Donna never sent me a bill. I didn't know there were taxes outstanding until legal tax sent me an overdue. And they were nice enough to work through it and waive
Yeah,
the thing.
this will basically be
Yeah,
a
that
way
would
you
be
can
nice.
So
basically
you're saying this is a good,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
good.
okay.
Yes.
I also would like to have council vote next week to advertise for summer help.
How many we put on?
How many you recommend, Bill?
2 or 3, that's all.
2 or 3.
What's the hourly rate?
What's the other, 15?
Yes.
15 an hour. Yeah, they'll help out this summer. We were a little slow last year, but starting in May, I think it'd be good.
We started a little late last year, didn't we?
We did, we had them work longer too. So helped out. Fortress Software. Currently, we have a pilot program in our battle motor garbage vehicle, which basically it's a system that provides cameras and movements, sensors, and an actual maintenance system to help the drivers maintain the vehicles better. When we get the garbage trucks, the electric garbage trucks, this software is going to need to be installed anyways on those ones, because the second half of the grant requires us to send in data to the state. And this software would collect and we'd be able to use that to send to the state as a requirement. The question at this point in time is, do we want to keep this with the current one as well as add it to our other garbage vehicles?
100%.
The costs are here. There's an outright purchase of option 1 or basically a rental purchase. This is, I believe, per vehicle, right? I think it's per vehicle. I have to ask some questions about it. And we can talk about it more next month too, but we'll definitely begin when we get the garbage vehicles.
All right.
And then, and Tim is perfectly behind it. I have no problem with it because I think it really helps.
So when we went out there,
Scan that and just send it to us an email.
I already sent it to you.
All right,
I sent it to you on Friday.
cool. All right.
so when we went out there, we went over the whole program. The program is a very good program, especially for, CDL pre-trips, things like that we know, that'll be logged every day. We know our guys are doing our pre-trips. it will save us in case we have something happen.
Maintenance is, I think that's one of our
Maintenance
biggest
problems.
problems, is our guys really aren't doing what they should be doing. This basically forces them
If
to,
we're having a tire issue, they can just log in the system, hey,
yeah.
got a record.
And works well with our mechanic, we
It's
give
gonna
them a list.
save the operator,
Yeah.
and it's gonna save your borough in the long run.
Preventive maintenance.
100%.
Exactly.
Preventive maintenance saves money.
So that's something council will need to,
What's
I
the
mean-
difference between this and, like, how we correlate this and, Mr. Pisatana's presentation of
oh, this is just on the actual garbage truck. This is just on the garbage truck, it's done in, just that, the truck, and then we can.
And there's cameras on it, so,
Yeah,
so say Bernie calls in every week, says, well, they missed my garbage. Well, the GPS is gonna show, when they pull up to Bernie's house, he had no garbage out. So it saves, we can send the person a picture, say, no, you didn't have your garbage out, this, that, and the other. So that it will quit for people to go back and pick
Yeah,
up
that's a
their
good
more
question,
garbage.
because a couple of weeks ago I was away, I didn't put my garbage out. Now, do they note, is it noted that there was no garbage at this address, or they just keep going?
They just keep going, but now it will show on the camera system,
Right.
on the cameras that, hey, Bernie had 0 garbage out.
Right.
Or Bernie's been putting out, 10 couches every week,
Stuff he's not supposed to.
things he shouldn't have out there. And they can.
it protects
put it
our
in.
drivers and the residents.
100%.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
I think it's a worthwhile program, and we definitely need it for the new electric vehicles anyways.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
You want to see it, huh?
Yep, so we've gotten, actually, I printed off, not actually, I've got a new number for which is the one talking about, T8?
Yes.
So we've gotten bids for the 2 vehicles we're trying to get rid of on Municipal. So Tim can, not ask me about it anymore.
I mean, we only approved that over 2 years ago.
Anyway, so.
Not blaming you.
We now have a bid up to $4,100 for a 1-ton truck that's sitting back there, doesn't even run. And $1,550 for our F-350 back there.
When's the bidding done?
Today for the 1-ton, tomorrow for the F-350.
They sell that one time.
Yeah, I think we've gotten them both.
Are those good numbers?
Look,
Considering.
they're not there anymore, they're out of our way. They're just on the way.
They're just sitting there.
Awesome.
Okay.
So we'll vote on that next
Back
week.
in the budget.
Probably cost more to get ready ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. I mentioned earlier that we're working with, trying to get somebody to put a Main Street project onto the congressional request. So hopefully that'll work. We already talked about the Westfield notice of determination. Greg's already signed off on it, so it's done. Allegheny Home Loan Improvement Loan Program. It's an email that was, a letter that was sent from Imarado's office regarding, I don't honestly understand what it is.
This CDBG letter?
Yes. I think everybody has a copy of it.
Okay, I see it now.
It's an opt-in program.
Yep.
What's a low interest, or what is it?
It's I think it's a low interest program. The CDBG would be HUD funded, so.
Those programs are big, I mean, for people,
They'd help a lot.
a lot.
So basically the borough would have to kind of opt into this.
Yeah.
I don't see why
So
we
they
wouldn't.
talked about this at the COG meeting last week, and basically, sort of like how it works is if the more municipalities in the county opt into it, the better we are looking to the higher ups to say they have X amount of boroughs that all want to participate. That increases our chances for more funding. So it is recommended that, yes, we do opt in.
I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Any questions about that?
Nope.
Read the letter. Any other questions? Stabilization funding, we talked about that a little bit. We're going to be applying for the grant for next year for basically stabilize the hillside by Creek Street. We're looking also at a possibility of some kind of temporary fix for the roadway, Creek Street, so people can actually access.
Let me explain it.
Go ahead.
All right, I spoke to Rick Smith and asked him if there was a way we could make a table in there so it's not at the bottom where we're messing with anything, to level it out and try to get it to where we can stabilize the road, to where it can be widened where it was so that people don't have to be inconvenienced anymore. until we can get the bottom taken care of. He said he would come out with me next week, look at it, and we would go from there. This way it settled the problem with the residents not being able to use their road, and then we have time to get the money to take care of the bottom.
All right. iPad purchase, Taylor has done a little bit of work, and then PJ did some work as well, getting some numbers for purchasing iPads for council. Taylor just contacted T-Mobile directly and got theirs, and the price that PJ got through Apple are better. They've given us a discount rate, at least savings of about $2,000. I have two bids here actually with SHI, which is the Apple rep. One includes both are for iPad 11-inch Pros and keyboards, and one of them has the Apple Care agreement as well. I'm not sure if we need the Apple Care agreement. I don't know how rough you guys are going to be on the tablets.
I say you get some type of case, that's all.
Yeah.
Well, the keyboard has it.
Oh, does it?
The keyboard has a case. So the price are a little wonky because one of them has an 8, because I wanted to get one for the mayor as well, because he can use it well. I don't know if council can decide whether they want to get the mayor one.
Keep pushing the mayor's meeting.
Lift up on me, these guys, I'll tell you.
Oh, I thought we decided the computer in the offices.
Anyways, roughly the numbers are $10,000
So,
for eight tablets.
Which ain't bad. That's not bad.
you said you like the Pros. I was apparently mistaken. I was thinking the Pros were the larger, but they're all the same size.
Yes.
So I guess it's not screen size, it's
It's
just,
performance.
Yeah.
And especially if we're gonna be getting into the software and doing all this remote stuff, I'd rather have something that at least has a little bit of oomph behind it.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So I don't know how that's all gonna work, if we're gonna all have access to this, if we decide to go with any of this software.
Eventually we will. I don't know if we'll go with this one, but we'll have something, because as the council recommended, they want to have more online stuff and less papers, so.
Okay.
So this would kind of help with that issue. So that's something I don't know if the council wants to go.
Computers all day.
I mean, from what I'm thinking we're gonna be using is a lot of word processing and spreadsheet stuff. It's not memory intensive. It doesn't need a high processor. I just think maybe we don't need top of the line Pros. We get the middle of the road ones and then have money set aside for the Office 365 software that we're gonna need.
We are gonna need that.
Yeah, well, we can add some licenses.
I'm willing to be proven wrong. I just, my experience with those machines is,
Well, you've a lot of experience with them, that's.
yeah, we're not doing intensive app design on them.
We're mainly reading emails,
We're reading emails.
Yeah.
paperwork and stuff like that.
I can get a price, I can have Taylor reach out and get a price for the standard iPads as well. You can compare apples to
Yeah,
apples.
let's
Well, I think
check
it's, well, we have one here, isn't it?
Is
It's
that
three
from-
models.
does she have them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she does have them.
Yeah.
Good job, Tyler.
Yep.
Good job, Taylor. Why you turning red?
She's getting redder. Redder.
All right, yeah, so these are the, what you want to, so council, next week you can vote, I don't know if you want to.
Why don't you
I mean, you said split the middle, so just take the middle.
Right, yeah.
Another one? All right.
iPad Air, with the keyboard and whatever the,
Do we need the Apple Care extended?
I've never broken a phone or an iPad in my
You
life.
better knock on something, Jason.
And I have the $5 Five Below case.
Yeah.
This Gorilla Glass in these things, I mean, you gotta run them over with a car to really damage them.
I can
All right, sounds good.
Personally,
But-
buy stuff for myself, I
Yeah,
don't
I'll
want
have
care
to-
packages.
I'm just saying, on the chance that something is programmatically wrong with it and it's outside of the normal Apple warranty,
Yeah,
in 1 month, at $110 a month, we have enough to replace that iPad
Correct.
if we need it.
So don't get it.
Yeah.
No, I want you
Makes
to
sense.
be there.
all right, sounds good. Two more things. discussion on the DPW pension plan. The borough's gonna have to, if we are going to adjust the pension for public works, the borough will have to pass an ordinance. We'll have to get an MOU with the union and have a new agreement signed with.
Isn't the collective bargaining coming up soon?
It is,
That should be part of that anyway.
But this is something we were trying to get done.
So if council wants to proceed with that, we can instruct Craig to begin the process of preparing an ordinance. All right.
We'll discuss
Wait a
it.
minute, what are we revising it to?
What's that?
The idea is to basically make it easier for public works employees to retire after 30 years. Instead of 30.
It's the change.
The minimum right now is, I believe,
30 and what, 62?
62, 65, whatever it is.
What is it, Bob?
Full pension, I think, is 65.
65 plus 30 years. And so it seems like a long time working on the street department.
That's a long time we worked on the
Working all the
street
way to
department.
65. So that's the concern that's been presented by several people. So that's what.
Well, we can discuss it.
But even if we had a collective bargaining agreement, we still have to adjust the ordinance anyways.
Say that again?
Even when we do renegotiate the collective bargaining agreement, we still have to do a new ordinance anyways.
So we have to do a new
You'd have to do an
ordinance,
ordinance
So we're just gonna
no
get
matter
it.
what, in order to move forward with the.
Yeah, no matter what the
agreement
time
that's
frame
on
is for,
So if we do it now, it might help in the long run.
yeah.
There's a
What-
cost,
what-
no
what's
matter
the
how you look
benefit?
at it, there's a cost involved.
What's the benefit of doing it early?
Right.
Some
that's
people that have, some people that have the time, but not the age that wanna go, they can go earlier, which bottom line would probably save the borough because you'd lose a top guy and hire a lower guy. I mean,
It all comes down to the medical,
mhm,
basically. Most people have to wait till they're 65 to get their medical.
right,
Everyone basically has to wait that.
yeah, but how old are you?
What's that?
How old are you?
68?
At 65, would you wanna work on public work? I
So
would.
we wanna change that
A lot of
to
people don't want
20
to have
years.
to work, but it's just the way it is.
Right. I mean, if you got 30 years and you're 55 or
I
60.
know people working construction have 40 years in it.
Oh, yeah, but they have to.
59 years old, I'd like to go right now, but they can't.
Right. Anybody else got any other questions?
I do.
Go ahead.
So we're gonna be talking about revising it to full benefits after 30 years.
I think a minimum of 60 years.
60
and 30
years
60 and 30, like 30 years of working at age 60.
at age 60. So if you've worked 30 years by age 60, you can collect your full retirement
Yeah.
and full medical.
No, medical
No
separate.
No medical.
Medical separate.
That's separate.
That's on them.
That's on them.
Okay, and that's part of the initial whatever anyway, correct?
It'll be in the collective bargaining agreement. We'll be talking about it. If we get it done early enough, we can just go right in there.
So what it comes down to though, even though they have the numbers, they can't afford to retire because they can't afford the medical. That's where it all comes down to. And that's where it's at. You'd like to go at 60, you have the numbers, but guess what? You have 5 more to pay your own medical, that's rough.
But we should give them the option.
Right, they have that option, but we can't afford to pay the medical.
No, I'm not talking about, okay.
No, they said medical, but I think 30 and 55 would be.
I would have to say, I'd agree with you on that one, 30 and 55.
I disagree. I would say 30 and 60.
I mean, is there interest among public works employees that will want to do this, though? Or are we gonna be?
There's a couple of
Wasting
people
our
that are.
There's a couple, Rob.
Okay. Just wanted to, if there's no interest, I wouldn't say, waste our time. But if there is, give it a shot.
I mean, another thing to keep in mind, people at that point are some of your higher earners.
And they're not gonna work as much as usual.
Right off into the sunset, and we replace them
With cheaper people.
cheaper.
Yeah.
It works.
All right, well, we can also,
All right,
discuss it more.
that's fine.
So will we have like separate conversations when it comes to discussing that contract.
We can do.
Well, yeah, the contract we would discuss more privately, but we have to publicly talk about the ordinance.
The whole committee did.
Perfect. Okay.
All right.
Last thing is, police officer.
Excuse me, but
Go ahead, Jim.
before we discuss the police dog, I forgot to add in there, myself, the mayor, and Assistant Chief Abbott had a meeting with Kerry Kahn, who is the general manager in the waterfront, and Ray Strobel, head of security, about the juvenile issue that's been pretty rampant lately. We believe that's going to be a pretty good resolution. We tried it out this past weekend, it worked great. Continuing, he's going to build like a juvenile holding facility down there.
Down
Which
in
is
the waterfront.
In the waterfront, yep. He's going to build, he's building one, state of the art.
Where at?
In one of the old units that they're not using right now, right by Dave and Buster's. And we're going to get CYF involved, and because, as we all know, when you arrest a juvenile, some of the parents won't even come.
And summer's coming.
And summer's coming.
And you just can't put them on a bus.
And you can't release them.
You can't release them.
just release them to the streets. So it was a very good meeting, and I'm looking forward to, it's a good thing for our neighborhood.
I didn't know Ray was doing that.
Like the jail in the Eagle
Yeah.
Stadium.
And, you know, in the agreement that we have with them, this will be extra detail for our officers, but the waterfront will pay to have our officers, you know, down there. Won't be taking away from any officers on their shift. This will be extra duty.
How long will they be held there?
Until they have a parent or a relative and or an approved adult by a parent to
How
pick them
many
up.
holding
And if they
places?
don't, we're gonna, this is our plan, have CYF there, and then they would it takes it out of all of our hands, and they would take custody of the children.
Oh, wow, good.
And one more thing we brought up, I guess this is more of their old business, but we really do need, not that we're ready to hire anybody right now on police force, but we need a police test.
Oh,
Our
yeah,
test
'cause we-
is outdated, so we have to be, you
We
know,
have
ready.
nobody on the list right now.
There's no
And
list.
it's actually required by state law, so we get, you know.
We'll vote on this.
All right, perfect. Now about development.
One more question about.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Do you know about how many holding areas they're anticipating putting in?
Well, you have to separate females from males, so it's gonna be one big area, but it's gonna be separated.
How many
12
cells?
each.
They'll have their own bathroom,
12 girls, 12
How many
boys?
cells?
pardon me?
How many cells?
I think they're gonna do rooms, because you don't wanna put them all together,
Same thing.
because then it's just gonna cause havoc. The spot, which I looked at, it's giant, so it's gonna be really nice. It's impressive, the layout that we have.
There's the proper permits to go and
Just
and do all
I'm sure
that.
Tim,
they'll
you're in
go
Munhall
through
right now.
the code enforcement officer of Homestead to get it.
I was just asking.
Take that off.
Any other questions? Anybody?
Nope.
Okay, we go to the K-9.
All right, so now to discuss the K-9. I know that council came to an agreement on having him start when he's off his probation, which is April 20, something, the third week in April.
Name the officer.
Officer Coles. So after discussing with the mayor and some of the concerns that we have about waiting till then, we were asking and requesting for council to vote to get him on like ASAP. We have the parade coming up, the St. Patty's Day, which we always get an overflow at our bars on Main Street, the waterfront as well. And then even bigger, we have the NFL draft. And when I tell you it's going to be a nightmare, it's going to be a nightmare. And I know we have a smaller portion of the waterfront, but looking at it as a whole, you know, as a community, I think it's necessary. And he's already qualified, his dog's certified. He's been going to training every Tuesday since we brought the dog on. He hasn't skipped a beat. And
So the dog don't have no rust?
no, the dog don't have no rust.
I fully 100% agree with it. You know, it's going to be crazy down there in the NFL draft. You know, not while the draft's going on. After the draft, all the hotels are full. The bar's gonna be packed with people probably who will most likely be drinking all day. So there's gonna be problems when this NFL draft comes back to the hotels and to the waterfront and to our Munhall period.
And Chief, I agree with you, and I know we made the plan, but things changed and we didn't think about it.
Yeah, we didn't take in the draft.
Yeah.
We should have.
But it's not like we can't change it now.
I have a question. Is there any liability on the borough? We voted for 6 months if we release them early. Is there any legal liability for that happening?
I talked to Greg and he said no.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, that would be for Greg to answer that question.
I know we
Thank you.
talked at the free store open house. The mayor gave me a black eye that day when I discussed that.
You weren't completely wrong, Tim.
But I think, you know, maybe April 1st would be a great day. You're gonna
And
and
hey, you guys do whatever you want, but my thought on that
We're all
is
gonna miss
that St. Patrick's Day,
Next Tuesday.
we're gonna get, and trust me when I tell you this, because I've been here long enough, we're gonna get that crew from Southside that's gonna go to Main Street. They're gonna go there early, they're gonna come here late.
Well, the parade's Saturday.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but part of the problem is we can't really technically vote during this meeting.
I talked to Greg, we can say it's okay, and then we can ratify it next week, because it's not costing any money to the borough. I already reached out to him.
Does that affect the officer's pay rate with having
No, it
Not at
doesn't.
all. He don't get anything additional, he gets his 4 hours, his stipend, but that's he's been getting since. And to your point there, it's St. Patty's Day weekend, not St. Patty's Day.
They start Friday. They start Friday. There's pre.
Start Friday.
I'll be honest with you, I have no problem with it, because we're gonna put the dog on anyways.
Right.
It's a no-brainer.
And and I've asked
Anybody
the
else?
chief, there's been no problems with what we, Darnell, he's
on
done
April
a
1st.
good job.
Okay.
We're happy with what he's done
You're
in
April first,
the first
Jason?
4 or 5 months.
Today?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to have the dog go on his own.
I will be one of those people at the parade that comes back,
Tomorrow.
so I know.
What's that?
I will be one of those people that's at the parade all day and comes back here, so I know it's gonna
I'm
happen.
okay with it.
I third.
In service,
So we got
March
12th.
Yes, I'm okay.
Ernie motion, is there, who seconded?
Me.
Mike?
Fix these clocks.
Tim?
I'm a no.
No?
We voted as a council
Do it
to
as
set a date as the probation for the dog. We had a meeting in executive session, and that dog wasn't gonna get approved at that, when we sat back there in the executive session. We agreed on probation, we came out here, and we voted on it. And now, because we have St. Patty's Day that we've had in Munhall for 100 years,
And we've had problems for 100 years.
and how many, can you give me the list of how many times one of our canine dogs has been deployed on St. Patty's Day?
I have a motion on the floor, by the way.
Yeah.
I could have a question on you.
You voted no.
I think he is allowed to have it.
You have-
Yeah, you're allowed.
You have a motion and a
Make sure that I
second.
know
You have
I
a
have a
motion and a
motion.
second. We voted back there. So is every time that we vote on something, as this council, are we gonna now, if somebody wants to persuade us and change our mind, is that the way this council is gonna work?
Mr.
I just wanna
Police
know.
Chief, Mr. Police Chief, he has a big, as far as I go, yes.
Me too.
Not just anybody, but.
I'm just-
Depends on the
I'm just
circumstance.
asking.
Yeah, it all depends.
Sometimes
I'm
things change,
asking
we
if
didn't
that's the way
realize
we're
that,
gonna, if that's the way we're gonna go.
we didn't think about it.
Well, last month, we didn't think about St. Patty's Day. Last month, we didn't think about the NFL draft.
Dave, you want?
Was that
let's
our
do a roll
fault?
call.
Yes.
All right,
But now we are, I think we need to do it.
We're gonna do a roll call vote, Mayor.
Mr. Eads,
No.
I don't get no more black eyes.
Mr. Stein,
Yes.
Mr. Gallovich,
Yes.
Ms. Pledge,
Yes.
Mr. Shields,
Yes.
Mr. Ostrowski,
Yes.
Ms. Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-1. Ratify next week.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, Jim.
Thanks.
You're welcome, Mayor. Anything else? Old business? Any old business? I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.